to them. So that way it's a lot easier um to go through it. Share. Okay. And let's share the screen here. All right, my bro. So let me show you why I took that trade as a sell. I'm not gonna lie, I think everyone was waiting for it to see it as a buy. And
Yeah, because
yeah,
I was with you. I was with you with that two leg part, all of that. But then uh I didn't see that buy invalidated from my point of view. I saw that maybe he's wrong. That's
yeah.
why I was confused.
No, that's it wasn't obvious. That's the thing. I realized that about EU lately since I've been taking I took like I had a tough week this week. I don't know if it was
Mm.
because I've been a little bit tired. I've been waking up a lot for London sessions and not sleeping well at night. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that's what
Mhm.
affected my trade, but I felt like I was falling a lot behind the trades. I realized
Yes.
every time the trades would happen, I would somehow end up catching the end of it, like, oh wait, this is where it happened. I'm like, dang, I was waiting for it over here, but it already did this. That was kind of my
Right.
situation.
The move had
That's,
already happened.
yeah. So I said, you know
I
what?
remember.
I said, let me
I
take
remember
some
I was waiting
time.
for
Hmm.
I was waiting for a setup. Waiting for a
Yeah.
setup. And I'm waiting to get tapped in. And I look in the chat and he's already in the trade. I'm like, oh, like I'm about to catch the second part of the trade. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not fine catching the retracement, but if the move already happened and you're trying to catch it, yeah,
Yeah. It's not the best situation. Yeah,
I
100%.
don't know. Finish.
But yeah, I took some time away, like not even some time, maybe like a day of studying and back testing, and I realized, okay, what I was doing a little bit wrong. But just to kind of just get to the narrative of what happened with this trade today. So on the daily, right? 'Cause this is another thing I was telling Bilal, for example, on the daily, we can see that price reached that 4 hour supply that everyone is waiting for. But what happened is on a 4 hours, etc., it looks like the supply is still above. But as you can see, price has already surpassed the premium and it's already reached that 4 hour supply. So let's say so I'm and when I say so that's why I'm talking about this right here. We can already see that it's already mitigated this on a daily. So we go to like the 4 hour, for example, it's still being waited for. Where was it that I just marked that? I think it's gonna show up only on the. I gotta fix my visibility. I turned it off. Let's go. Boom. So when you go to the 4 hour, see, it's already mitigated. So
Yeah.
everyone is still waiting for it to happen up here at this supply. But the
Never.
reality
Not
is,
automatically.
right, the zone is huge. This is the entire zone. So if you're waiting for it just at this piece and not realizing it already got what it needed here on the daily level, it doesn't need to go further all the way up to this piece, for example, because that's also the obvious thing. Because if you take away, let me delete this right here. If you take away this away, this look how obvious this POI is.
Yeah.
It's like
Too
it's
clean.
like a sore thumb, bro. It's just
Too
standing there
clean.
waving, yo, here I am. I'm the POI
Yeah.
that hasn't been mitigated. You
It's
know what
too
I mean?
clean.
It's too calm, too clean. So
Yeah.
what price did price react from this imbalance? Now, one might say, well, it's just an imbalance. It's probably going to come back and take it out. Maybe, but the reality is on a daily, it's no imbalance. It's an actual zone. It's an actual POI like we saw when we marked it. All right. So get past that point. Realizing that I said, okay, well, what's next? Internal structures. We have this swing low led to this internal swing high. This internal swing low led to this internal swing high. Did we get a complete retracement? Yeah, we got about a good 50% retracement from this low to this high. So I'm like, okay, that's calm. And then I said this swing low led to this swing high. It didn't break, but then this internal swing low right here led to this swing high that finally broke this high. But at the time, price was up here. I'm like, okay, from this low to this high, did we get a 50% retracement? We haven't yet. And on top of that, we've mitigated the zone. So the most thought-provoking thing I thought was price would at least need to come down to the decisional right here.
Yeah.
to the extreme or the decisional. Because right at that time we were still up here, and this my bad, my camera is probably showing it to you small. Price was still up here at the time for these past couple of days. We were up here. So I'm like, okay, we
Yeah.
need to come to this way or this extreme. Because if we're going based off of the structure cycle, we got phase one was this push, phase two was the retracement. But if we stop right here, did we really do complete phase two? Because this is not a completion of the pullback. So I was assuming, okay, either here we'll make the second leg or here we'll make the second leg. But what happened when price got here today on the 4 hour? As soon as because this was my previous day, the previous day low. So just to give clarity, when I went to the previous day, this was the previous day at the time. So this wasn't complete yet. So this was the previous day low. So when I look at the 4 hour, we closed full body. Remember, the only time that previous day price letting you know that there's going to be a reversal is when it closes a wick. As far as what I remember from what Jeremy and was explaining, it has to be like a wick. So I'm like, okay, wait, this is crazy. Let me go to the 15-minute, for example. 15-minute did the exact same thing, full body, but it also mitigated into the zone. So, and I also have a trend line on this zone. So at that moment, I didn't really expect this zone to hold because I'm like, there's a trend line liquidity here. Is all these build up, price never induced these, take these trend line, and then they close this full body into the zone. I was in this trade right here, selling down already at the time of this trade. I was in this zone right here, which turned out to be a smart money trap. But when I took the trade, this, and I'm saying this for context because one of the guys who asked me about the trade, I told him he asked me about my initial sales bias. Why did I have sell bias in London? Okay, coming out of Asia, we had the consolidation. Cool. We already wicked above it right here with this inducement. So I know we didn't need to have to come all the way to the top side because we've already wicked above. The downside was taken. If anything, price just needs to come back and retrace and mitigate somewhere between here or here. But then when I did the fib tool once again, from the high of Asia, this one, to the low that it led to, which was, where was it? I think it was Frankfurt. Was it right here? Yeah, I think it was right here. Yeah, was it this side? I think I did this side. Yeah, this side from Frankfurt to the low right before London Open. I seen that it was somewhere within this area that we had the discount. So I just pretty much marked the high of the zone to the bottom of it because this was I think on a 5 minute was a clear order block. Just giving you context so that you kind of see why I went with that perspective. Yeah, right here. Where is it? Right here. No, that's a 5 minute, 3 minute. Was it an impulse? Yeah, 3 minute impulse candle. That's what it was. So on the 3 minute impulse candle here. So I said, okay, well, this is the most cleanest order block I see. So price is more likely, if anything, because London open, London didn't mitigate it. As we know, when Frankfurt starts the session, Frankfurt is a liquidity session. If Frankfurt didn't get swept or swept, I'm assuming that there must be some sort of continuation going on because if London's continue the same direction as Frankfurt, that's not a good thing to expect price to be turning around. If anything is continuing. So Frankfurt continued this whole downward movement, downward. London opens. All it did was sweep this much of Frankfurt, this build up, induce and push down. Retest this here at the time was order block, created equal highs and push down again. So at that point, we got a break of structure. So I'm like, okay, I haven't done anything yet. So I'm just saying, I'm really waiting to see price sweep this high at least to then give me a sell from here. Waited. Price came down here again. Now we've had a 15-minute inducement. At this point, when I go to the 15-minute, this is closed as a wick. So now my bias is changing. Okay, this is probably our
medium inducement.
Yeah, our medium inducement that's going to now send me into reverse. This was my first thought process because this was previous day structure. Price came, I already had it marked to fail. I also had this retail support and resistance zone underneath because I see how many times all the way to the left it just kept touching this area. On a 1 minute is more clear. And I also see now, okay, there's a trend line. So I'm like, okay, I know this area would fail. There would be a lot going on. So when price had this 15-minute inducement, none of this was printed yet. So I'm like, okay, let me see if I'm going to get me a buy setup. I'm waiting for a lower time frame model to show me the buy setup. Where are we? 15-minute, that right here, boom. So when that medium induced, I'm saying, okay, we've taken enough liquidity, at least to kind of get the reversal, just to come back, at least take these or maybe retest this area is what my bias was. So after the medium inducement, I had boom, M1 shift, I said, oh, price failed to break this structure. So I said, okay, what is happening here? And this is the part that I told you about, that price tends to do what no one is watching because it likes to be sneaky. I started realizing that EU is sneaky. So look what happened here. As much as everyone's looking at the obvious thing, which is what we've just had a medium inducement. We have because at that time this wasn't a smart money trap yet. We have this OB up here. Yes, there's an equal high above. So everyone's thinking, yes, price is drawn to this high because this equal high sitting here. We have trend line liquidity here. We've had now a change of character. Look at all this bullish momentum. Internally, price is building this trend line, but you may see it, you may not see it. But at the same time, you're more caught up. Anybody would be like me, for example. I was more caught up on the M1 shift and this
Yeah.
potential breakup structure coming up next.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting there waiting on this breakup structure, saying, okay, there's a wick. Little rejections here build up. You probably think, okay, eventually one of them is doing a trend line to eventually bust up, like push upwards, sweep it. Then you have your BOS, and then come down perhaps and maybe mitigate this impulse candle or this overall 3-minute OB, right? That was the initial thought process that I'm pretty sure everybody would see because that's the
That's
most obvious thing,
that's what
right?
I had too. Yeah,
As
that's
I'm
what I had
showing
too.
it to you, it's like it's
Yeah.
obvious. You can see that this is
Yeah.
that's the thing. You have to, with EU, maybe it's with other pairs too, but EU specifically, if it's obvious, bro, I even said it right here. What does this say, bro? I don't know if you, oh, maybe hold on. Let me take off if my camera's blurry. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's blurry. It shouldn't be, but if it is, let me make sure. No, it shouldn't be, but yeah, that's the
Oh,
blur
it's
right
off
there.
now. Yeah.
Let me turn it off now. All right. I don't know if you can see what that say, bro, but I'll show you what this say. This right
It
here
says
says, do not
do
trade
not trade.
obvious zones.
Yeah, do not trade clean. Was that clean zones?
Obvious. Do not trade obvious.
Obvious zones.
If
Obvious
it's,
zones. Yeah.
bro, obvious zones where it's like standing there, hey, this is me. Those are traps, bro.
It's
Notice
a trap.
it's a
It's a
trap or,
trap.
yeah, or a fake out. Price is not
Hmm.
gonna do it just to be like, um, oh yeah, you know what? Here I am. Come and join the party and let's all take this trade together and make money. To me,
Nah,
obvious. So here's what happened.
they don't want you in the trade.
It doesn't want you in a trade. But here's
No.
what Price was doing though on the other side. Price got the right hand up, showing you its right hand, but this is what the left hand was doing. And after the inducement right here, what do we have? Internal high. Let me make it bigger. Internal high, internal low, internal high, break structure, internal low, internal high, broke another structure, internal low, still higher than this low.
Hmm.
Internal high, I mean external high, but failed to break this high.
Yeah.
Internal low,
Kind of ways.
broke this low and this low. So what does that give us? Change the character, break a
I
structure.
could change the code there. Yep. I'm gonna break
But
the structure.
it happens so tight and slightly that you're still
Yeah.
waiting
So
for this BOS to happen. And look, I entered from right here, right at this little 3 candle movement. I took it from this entire zone into the bottom, from the high of the zone to the bottom as I marked it right here. Because once I saw this high led to this low and changed character here and broke structure here, I took that this whole entry. So price just bodied right here, real quick, flushed me down.
um,
I'm like, whoa, I'm shocked. So once price reached here, I'm expecting to not just like I'm expecting to take this entire zone because I
smoke it
have a
out.
trend line. I have reasons to take it,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know what happened. No news, no nothing. Price just flushed up. Mind you, I'm like, okay,
Look
I
at this.
understand. It is a previous day low, like what I
Mhm.
showed you when I went to the 15-minute, 4 hour, 1 hour. It was a yeah. I clearly see that it's a previous day low. But what made no sense to me is that it closed a full body like this. Where is it? Where is it? I think it's this one. Oh no, it's not this one. It's this one right here. Yeah, it closed a full body. Look at this full body. So I'm
That's
like, look
a
at the
very
strength.
strong
Look at the
feeling.
momentum of this. Does this look like a candle that's gonna turn around at this little zone?
That's a
At
candle that's
all.
supposed to
So I'm thinking this
skyrocket
is
down.
supposed to dump.
Hmm.
This happened. This whole reversal candle happened like right after. I think it was within. It was. It didn't even go past it. Look at the retracement candle right after that dump happened for me. Look at the momentum. I'm right back. I said, wait, what? I said,
Doesn't
this
make
no, this
sense.
makes no sense.
Doesn't
this
make any
doesn't make no
sense.
sense. So I'm thinking maybe this is just a retracement, right? So you go back to the 1 minute, for example. I said, nah, maybe this is just a complex pullback just to kind of give a reaction, um, just to kind of give a reaction in case, in case people all jumped in like last minute on this trade and they realized they got left. So price is gonna retrace. Maybe where is my zone at? Wait, yeah, it's up here, my bad. Yeah, it's London. I'm tripping. Yeah, there we go. So I'm like, maybe price is just doing this retracement of right here to come at least because it broke structure up here. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're just gonna come mitigate here just to kind of give a FOMO for people who jumped in to feel like, oh, price is gonna do it and come back. No, price continued, took me out, hit my stop loss in London. I couldn't make sense of it. But then afterwards, I was able to make sense of it. I'm like, okay, all this right here was still left. All these people who got in from Frankfurt right here that had their stop loss from up here, they're still in. Or any of them who got it from this inducement, they're still in. So I'm like, oh, price wanted to at least come back to mitigate this because that was the zone. If we did the fib tour from here to the bottom of where it landed, that was the premium.
Yep.
At that
Yep.
moment,
It
I
all
said,
depends on
oh, that makes sense as to why I got taken out. So I was just part of this momentum, and I was just like shy of the 1 to 3. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, cool. I took
prices
my
came back taking that liquidity.
exactly. So I took the loss because at the end of the session, I didn't have no other entry. It came here, did its little whoop-de-whoop-de, and it's finally did the breakup structure here. The final entry would have been here, but I didn't really enter this trade because it was
Mm-hmm.
towards my session. So I just kind of like market consolidation, I walked off.
Yeah.
But that was that. Now, fast forward with New York session, we know that the AM of New York, like within 8 something, it's usually it's not just usually, it's just like Frankfurt, it's a liquidity session. So I
Yep.
saw that price came high, low, down with the news. We all know what is news. It's a catalyst for price to go the direction that it wants to go, right?
Right.
So if news flush this price down, um, if news flush price down, and it's trying to tell us this is the direction that price wants to go. And I seen that the medium induced the previous day inducement that happened was with a full body. There's no reason why price should have respected this supply. This supply,
Expected to continue.
right? It should have violated this supply. So I'm like, okay, so if this supply didn't get taken out, then this my bias is still correct. That wasn't an inducement of the day that's gonna lead to a reversal because price closed with a full body. So it's the continuation still. So we haven't found the
Yes.
actual medium inducement yet. So I said, all right, perfect. So I said, okay, there was this medium inducement, which was a previous day structure, not a previous day low, but a prior day structure, which happened on Tuesday. So this was Tuesday structure. This was a buildup of liquidity. Price had just like this was a structure, this was a structure, and this was a structure. So this was about 2 to 3 medium inducements in that area. But price reacted from them, except for this one. Well, yeah, it reacted from the outside of our time frame. This was the only one it reacted from within the time frame, but it did the same thing that it did during London, closed with a full body. Let me make it bigger because I just looked over and I see it looks small. See, during New York session, the key time window, it closed with a full body. So we know
Yeah.
that's not real medium inducement because it wasn't a wick. But right here would have been a medium inducement, but look at the time it happened. This is before New York Open. It's at 8:30. It's not 9 o'clock yet. So we know it doesn't
Mhm.
qualify. That's why all they
Yeah.
did was give this fake reaction here to fake this out. But we know this session is liquidity anyway. So what did this session do? Low, high, internal low, high, internal low, high. So we've seen break of structure. So what is most people whose trades our strategy is going to think? This zone is going to hold for a buy. Those who like to take the entry right before 9 o'clock, 8:55, they try to get early because they think, what did price do? Roop, take them out.
Smoke them out.
Because this
Smoke
session,
them out.
this beginning of New York session is a liquidity, just like Frankfurt is a liquidity session. So it's going to set traps. So boom, after it did that, what did we get? High, low, just to come in and do this wick right here. After that, it shut down and created a zone. This was our first zone. I did not like this. You see what I wrote up here? Weak supply.
Yeah.
Why? Because after price did this inducement and pushed away, look at the retracement. The retracement,
Yeah.
the retracement wasn't even 50%. Look, it was a 30%, like to the 30%. So
I
I
seen
know
that week too.
Right. So I know for sure, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this is not a strong supply that I could expect price to come into and expect something major to happen. So I just marked it though, but I just marked it as a weak supply that potentially price will induce it. All right, cool. What happened? So we had this low, high, low. So we still continue the trend. Low, high, continue the trend. This medium inducement was the OB that everybody was expecting the retracement from, which was this one here. I ended up making it smaller. You need me? Oh. I ended up making it smaller, but if I go to the side right here, it'll be more clear because on the 5 minute, I believe, I just ended up like fine tuning it to make it
Yeah.
it was 15-minute OB, I believe. Yeah, 15-minute.
Yes. It's clear though. Yep. It's
You
clear.
remember
I
that?
see
You
it right
remember the
there.
OB I'm talking about, right? This one, yeah. It was a
Yep.
15-minute
Hmm.
OB. So everybody was expecting this. Just for the context of the video, I'll push it back up.
Okay.
All right, cool. So this was the 15-minute OB that we tapped into. Obviously, it was like, boom, as clear as day, we've reached a 15-minute POI, right? Everybody
Hmm.
can agree on that. Anybody who trades smart money concept or structure, whatever strategy, figured knew that we've reached this zone. But price just did one mitigation. This is on a 1 minute, by the way. Price just did one mitigation right here, not even 10% of the zone. But what did it do right after? We didn't get no inducement, like any type of like kind of, accumulation or distribution in here, nothing, then induce and then give us a lower time to push up. It didn't do none of that. It just,
Hmm.
after it tapped in, just
That's
fly
that.
off.
That's that.
Right. It just flew off. And like, okay, hold on now. You just gonna make it that obvious? Fly off, change a character, break up structure. That easy. That out of nowhere, you just, oh yeah, let's go, everybody, jump on this ride. So when you go to the 3 minute, what did it leaves us with? A 3 minute impulse candle. We had this impulse candle right here. We had this OB that was engulfed right here. You could say, okay, this was a 3 minute OB. And left us with all these perfect scenarios. But you see what I wrote here?
Okay.
Buy invalidation. If price,
Yeah.
I told myself at that point to get basically now I'm getting to the answer of that question that you said, what led to this trade, me taking a sell rather than a buy? Speaking of which, okay, no, it didn't hit my break even. So once price did this right here, and this was the zone I had marked out, as you see, this was my entry. In case price would have came back, I was expecting to take the buy up here. So I knew I was in this inflection zone. Either this zone gets mitigated first, which tells me this is gonna fail, or price comes up here, break structure, did exactly what it did here, and comes down and mitigate.
Hmm.
That lets me know this one's gonna fail.
Yeah.
So between these two decisions, I know this is where something's gonna happen from here. But what did Price do? Remember what I was talking about with the whole fake out stuff. Price came high. Let me make it much bigger because this one did it very, very sneaky, bro. This was the most sneakiest change of character I've seen EU do. Let me get my tool. We have the mitigation low. Then we have this and this high that changed character and broke structure all in one push. Then we have this low. Then we have this high. Most people might not even seen this high right here. But this high was created by this low that broke this here structure. Matter of fact, I could even say this high. Matter of fact, this low led to, this high led to this low led to this high, broke this structure. All right.
Would you consider that? But it's a whip. Would you consider that still as a break?
Say that one more time.
But because it's a whip, would you still consider that as a break? In the second dot.
I say that because I'm following the movement. If price did this and it did not continue up, then no, I would not consider the break of structure. I would
And
consider an
yeah,
inducement. But the
but
fact that it kept going, then at that point, I could say it's a break of structure. So this was a BOS. This little movement right here was a BOS. And then from this low, let me just use this one. This right here. So high, low. You can see the bearish intent. The wick took the bottom of this wick. So you can see the attempt to try to go down, fell, low, pushed up again to make this overall high. Do it again. This overall high. I didn't even go to the top high yet. Not this one yet. This didn't even happen yet. This high to this here low. Oh no. You're right. I'm right. It is from this low to this overall high. From that overall high to this internal low.
mm,
This internal low led to this high that failed to break this high.
right.
This high led to this low. Now we've got our first change of character.
Mhm.
Your change of character is here, right? This is our change of character. Boom. Then this low led to this high. This high led to now what? This overall here low, giving us what? Our break of structure to the left. If you say, okay, well, this was the structure that was created after this doesn't really count, that's fine. You could say there's a second structure. Oh, there's a second structure right here that price created, right? Remember, this was that low that I talked about.
Yep.
Remember? High, low, high, because it broke over this high
Like,
and this low led to this side. This is structured to the left now. Just in case somebody would have said, nah, I don't know, this one don't is not really valid. Like today's Zoom call, how you really basically told what's his name? I think it was MK. I think it was that he wouldn't qualify this as a low or a change of character or a break of structure. I mean a BOS unless it would have broken the low that led to it. So
yeah.
if you qualify this, you could still see it because this was the low that led to the overall high. So price changed character internally, and then this right here gave you the BOS because it's a full body when you push it to the other side. It goes as a body, not a wick.
Mhm.
At that
Like a
moment,
base for that field.
at that moment, I marked out my OB and I waited for price to come in and tap me in. And this is where it tapped me in and instantly. I was in when I took this trade, I literally was expecting for the buys down here. Instantly, when I saw this little movement happen, I'm like, that is so crazy. Everyone is somewhat sitting right here expecting what's happened before. We've had scenarios because we've understand what. Why would most people not think that this is the invalidation model in front of us? Because a demand was mitigated first. Because we're all focused on this demand mitigation, we figured this would be automatically invalidated. Even if price come mitigated, it's gonna just come back, tap here, and push out through it. That's what we're
Mhm.
thinking. We've seen it happen before. But what is the inducements all showing us? It's been sellers pushing down, sellers pushing down, sellers pushing down. Every time buyers try to come in, they fail to break the where it came from. Buyers try to come in, they fail to break the previous inducement. So it's telling you sellers are keep pushing it down. Look, buyers try to induce right here, failed to break where it came from. And then price gave you a chalk. Now, it's different if price would have mitigated here, chalk, but keeps coming down here. That's different. Then we could have probably got that mitigation change of character and then come up here and take. But the fact that it gave change of character, break of structure, and then retest the supply, oh yeah, that's bad news for this zone.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's why I took the sell. Because if you would have changed character, broke structure, and just keep coming down without retesting the zone, then I would have known it would have tapped here, gave us the same change of character, break of structure, or at least induced deeper. Actually, I wouldn't even think this zone was gonna last. I would have moved this and expect price to just come induce here because mind you, this hasn't been induced yet. So I would have expected for us to induce deeper into this zone, this 15-minute zone, and then come back out and take this zone. But the fact that that's not how it happened, it gave us that shock. It came down after the BOS and retested. I knew this was going to be a flush, and I took it, and it just dumped from there, bro. So, granted, I was expecting price to still come further levels, but it hasn't done it yet because on a 15-minute, I looked to see where we could possibly go, and I see that there was this impulse candle. I think it was a 3-minute impulse candle underneath the zone right here. Yeah, this impulse candle right here. So I figured price would probably somewhat come to this zone right here. And then, maybe give us a reaction. So it did come to the impulse
Yeah.
candle, tap it, but I didn't have my exit there. I had it there at first, but I removed it. I pushed it to lower to the gap imbalance because I figured, oh, there's an imbalance underneath. Price will probably want to come induce this low. You see, that's why this New York AM low, because
Yeah.
New York, so I figured maybe we'll take the session low and then from this inducement, instead of taking this obvious extreme, price will just probably react from this imbalance and continue. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But as you can see, price
Plus, they put up the influence.
it reversed. But for now, I'm still in the trade. As a matter of fact, I've taken partial. I might break even right here. So there's like an extra 600. But I see that price also came back to this impulse candle here and chose to induce it, but it closed as a body. But on the 15-minute, it's an inducement. Is it? Yeah, on the 15-minute, it's just a minor
Just a
inducement.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe we might still be good money, depending on how the whole session goes. You see, we just had this minor inducement here. So I'm still hopeful that this
Yeah.
right here be a push down. But the fact is that it did push down, but it didn't push all the way to break this low. This is kind of a troubling because this inducement would have been valid if we would have broke this low. But the fact that we didn't and it's coming back up lets me know price is most likely gonna come up. Unless it just comes up to induce this high, induce the inducer, and then come down without taking my break even. That's possible. But one thing that made me feel like this trade might also not hold is on the same 15 minute. When I do the fib tool from this low or even this low to this overall high, we've already reached a discount.
You reach the discount. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, this might be where price is able to finally push up. And do you remember that 4 hour everybody's waiting for?
yeah. The
Actually
top you could come
and take it out this time.
take it out.
Because
Yeah.
everyone is
So
expecting for it to be the trade to sell off. Now it's gonna
everybody's expecting a
what
working.
did we say about obvious trades? Obvious zones?
If they too
Price.
clean,
They're too clean, bro. They're too
I,
obvious. They
I
look
look
like
at I look at clean zones as an SMT. If you see it, somebody else will see it. Somebody else can see it, they're gonna induce it because they don't want you looking in the trade.
yeah. One thing I do
And
sometimes when I look into sometimes when I'm waiting on a setup and I go look into the chat where everybody is at and I see some of the analysis. And if I see people in the same zone that I'm in, I'm like, nah, that must be too obvious. I'm gonna get out. Let me
that must be too clean.
yeah, because think about
I
it, if
see
all
it.
of us are
Yeah,
at it, and especially when it's like not new people, but people who are still trying to get a hang of the price action,
yeah.
they're seeing that same zone. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
something's
Oh
too
yeah.
something don't make sense.
Something wrong about that zone. If
Yeah.
they're seeing the same zones,
Think
yeah,
about even
because
these trades.
oh yeah, when it was
All of them
trades,
look so intricate. It's like complex. It's like, wait, where do you see it? It's always like, huh? It's like
yeah.
as if I snuck it, but he always catch the sneaky trades. And that's what I started to
Mm-hmm.
realize. The ones that you're supposed to take are the ones that doesn't look obvious. It looks sneaky.
That's correct. That's why you're so intricate on that 1 minute. Because if it wasn't, you would have missed it.
I would have
Like,
missed it easily.
yeah,
100%, bro. But yeah,
crazy.
that's to answer that question, man, as to why I took that trade.
Man,
Um,
bro. It's incredibly impressive, bro. Yeah,
yeah,
amazing job right there, bro. That's literally where I got tripped up with that example validation model. Was that
say it
that two
again.
right? Said I got tripped up at the exact validation like right there, bro. But I had everything, had the two leg, boom. But it's just damn, I got tripped up. Because I seen that, I actually had it marked out as a decisional zone,
Yeah,
but because it didn't come with close that 50% like you initially said, I
yeah,
seen it as like I seen this as a loop zone. So I went, I'm not playing anymore. Then I seen the inducement in
yeah,
15 minutes. But yeah, that just means I gotta get more intricate in this 1 minute. I wasn't in a
yeah.
time frame with money, man.
That's why I didn't even take the trade from this zone right here, the one that I marked as a weak supply. I didn't even take the trade from there, but I just used it as a buy invalidation to know that
Waiting
if
for confirmation.
it would invalidate this. But then I waited till it gave me my lower time frame model after it mitigated it. That's when I'm like, okay, it's a clear sign that I could sell from here. Because if I would have just taken it at the top, it could have easily done this and it came right through, like high, low, and continued through it. You know what I mean? So that's why I just waited to see what it was gonna do. But when it gave me this lower time frame model, took this
Yeah,
entry.
when you mark that two leg protocol on the for that chalk and the DOS on the thing,
Yeah.
initially I thought you took it from the imbalance and then covered your top. Because there was like
About this
literally
imbalance here.
just yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you just covered that and so I didn't know that it was so like intricate, 1 minute break. But you got actually like a full chalk and a full DOS.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
I
went for this. I didn't mark it. I was see. It was so in the moment that I didn't mark it. I just saw it. I'm like, yo, hi. This one is actually over this. Hi, look. I didn't have these marked. I was just in my mind reading it. It's not until now I'm showing you so you could see it. I put it, but I marked the obvious ones, the obvious highs and lows. But then these were the ones that were sneaky. This sneaky low that you probably didn't see. Probably say, oh, this is a consolidation. Nah, look how it went down and took induced these wicks. Look how this one came up and induced these wicks. So if you're gonna count this as a high, then where would this high came from? It had to come from a low somewhere, so it would have to be this one. You know what I mean? Just like if we're gonna count this as a low, where would the high have to come from to create this low? It had to be from up here.
there.
You know what I mean?
But I would have my M1 shift right there when you had that box.
This
You
one,
see right there? Nah, lower.
this one.
The lower again, right where you had
Oh,
that
this
box.
one.
That's what I asked for. And then I was waiting for a reversal from there, but it was gone. The move already happened.
Well, if you would have done your, which would have been fine, right? If you would have done your M1 shift here, you would have had to take your zone right here, bro. This would have to be your entry.
Mm,
Because you got to understand where you take your M1 shift from, the zone is usually above it. The entry should be above it. See, my breaker
yeah.
structure is right here. My entry is right above it. Look at my OB, right above it, right after the inducement is right above it. So if you would have took your M1 shift over here, price went under, and then guess what? It came back for you.
It did. It did. It came back, tapped it, but
Yeah, it's a
I
three
had
minute.
it. I had it where I was covering your high. That's why I had it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It gave
wow,
look.
that's tough.
It gave you a clear 3 minute zone and an impulse candle right here.
You know,
So
like it.
you could have played it safe and you had your M1 shift correct. That wasn't a bad way to do it. I mean, I took a little bit more riskier by taking the early setup because I went a little bit deeper and trying to understand all these little internal things that was happening. But for you, yeah, this right here was valid. This was a valid because
Was
this was
valid.
on a like 5 minute. This was the low that led to that high that broke this structure. That was the final push. So you would have been valid for say this is the high that led to this low that broke this structure. But where would you be OB? Either you take this whole zone, which would have been too big. You could have said
Yeah.
decision extreme.
You cover your signal. You use the impulse for it.
How much is, let me see,
Right.
how big is that zone if you would have did it right here? That's a 10 pip
About
stop. That would
10.5.
have been deep. That's why you would have
Yeah,
had to,
usually I like to keep it between like 7 pips, max 8 pips.
yeah, yeah. Then that
But
would have just been your decision extreme in that case.
it's good to know, man. See, I don't mind. I don't mind missing out on a trade as long as I know why I missed the trade. Because then next time I can go back and look at it. I'm like, okay, this setup is happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the heat.
No,
That is
facts,
my range.
facts, man. Well, I hope I was able to answer that question for you, bro.
Oh,
This
for sure, man. I appreciate that, man. I
was,
appreciate that.
of course, man. Hopefully everything works out in my favor with the rest of this trade. I know Asia's pushing out. Hopefully Asia's just trying
Yeah,
to get some liquidity here, but doesn't come to break even and keep me in the trade. And we could kind of may hopefully see a little dump because I know I see it's making this trend line. So hopefully I could see this price right here, price action continue to where
we could possibly see a London continuation, maybe some bearish movement,
yeah,
maybe tap into maybe even a deeper discount for obviously becoming
right.
real time. But I mean, we don't. The good thing is like, told me what I stop guessing price. I just follow what price does.
All you gotta do. Follow it.
Yeah, just follow. Yeah, because sometimes I used to have a pre-analysis. Think price might do this, and then price is the opposite, and then the whole thing is thrown off. But it was never thrown off. I just tried to guess what price did.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good, bro. You're doing the right thing, man. And you've been catching some good trades too. So you on the right track, man. Just keep doing what
hey,
you
man,
miss a trade.
it's
It's all
progress.
yeah, exactly.
Progress. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's the best teacher. That's why I always say live markets are the best teachers.
Yes, sir. Forward testing
But
is
I actually had one quick question
yeah.
on trade I felt, but it's not really about the trade itself. It's just about my SL. So let me see if I can find the right shirts really quick for if I'm out. I think it was yesterday. It was, let me see.
You sure he's not showing yet?
Oh yeah, I'm about to share it right now,
Okay, okay, you good.
but find it. Yeah, I guess it must have happened. Yeah, if you do a quick question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost got it. It's sitting right here.
Do not trade obvious. But yeah, nah, it look like it's gonna hit my break even though because we mitigated a demand from right here. So it's all good.
I mitigated that demand. Yeah, that's all good. I mean, that's the good thing about prices. It's always gonna come back to get you another trade. Oh yeah, it's right here.
Because exit was supposed to be at that. All right,
Okay,
my
impulse paid up.
yeah, I just got greedy. It's all good.
You know, a lot was just being more lenient, strict opportunity pass of just showing me like how intricate price is because it's so easy to miss something so small, like a
Exactly.
big retail zone, crazy. But real quick, here was this is yesterday's GU.
Yeah.
After I was looking for loans, I had a 1 hour supply. Let me back it real quick. Yeah, I had a 1 hour supply. I'm gonna read them, it's hard to see, but basically, New York came. I had a bullish bias. So right at 9:04 during my session, it came and swept. It swept all this liquidity here from London.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's good. It's good. Plus, I had a medium inducement. Mhm. There was a medium inducement as well. Right here. So I was like, okay, perfect. Like my bias was 100% bullish,
Mhm.
and I was looking for longs into the zone. Like that. But basically, I had an inducement right here. I had some equal loads forming up right here,
Mhm.
and induced right here.
Mhm.
So this, I was confused because I wanted to, when I was talking to him, he always says cover your low, right?
Mhm.
And so initially, I was thinking of doing this. Had this inducement with equal lows, price pushed up, and then it broke structure again for the fourth. And then the initial inducement happened, pushed up, then it broke, and it pushed up again. I was like, okay, boom, this is clean. I like this. Price went, built up, came back, and tapped into the zone.
Maybe
I
another.
didn't take it. I
Mhm.
didn't take it from here. I covered this whole zone. It was like, like 7 pips, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 7.8 pips, which was pretty big because all in all, I ran, I think it came up here. I think I ran like 1 to 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, literally, like it just tapped my 1 to 3 up, because it wasn't it wasn't a 1 hour supply. It was like a 25 minute supply over here. It's just a lot of candles to let it play out. But yeah, it's basically like a clean. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go 1 to 3 over here, and then I'm gonna just let it. If it breaks that zone, okay, and if it doesn't, then I'm gonna just take my partials and just get on the trade. So I won the trade, which is like because I got my 1 to 3 and I got out. But my thing was, would it be valid if I just took it from this inducement right here that swept these lows because this low
Mhm.
swept these previous lows right here that causing me to inducement. So if
Yeah.
this, it was just the last thing, so. So if I just covered this,
Yeah. I would have done that,
what would
and
happen?
I would have covered the low underneath it. You see that small
That
low?
this low,
Yeah. That.
this
Yep.
low right here.
That one. Yep. Reason so it's
Mm,
because that first inducement you saw at the bottom,
yeah.
that was your initial inducement. So let's go to the so you go to the left, for example. All right. So at that case, you can say, look at that was there was an inducement right there to the left, right there also. You see that little the left from that wick to the left. Those two wicks to the bottom, that price came and induced to the left right there.
Yeah, this right
That
here,
was
so.
your first inducement, right? So go ahead and mark that and then put a rectangle tool and just draw it, stretch it to the left side from the low of that wick to the small candles above it. Yeah, right there. Boom. So that was your first one. Boom. And price pushed over and came what? What did price do? It came back down into that zone. So that was already your demand zone. Price came
Yeah.
back and induced that demand, the wake of that right that one. So move to the left. I mean to the right. I'm sorry. To the right. Yeah. Boom. So you got your inducement here. So now this inducement, you can say if let's say you was to mark OB from this inducement. So let's say you get the rectangle tool again from the bottom of that wick up to the blue to the bullish candle. Right there. Yeah. Right there. Boom. What did price do? Mitigate it. The mitigation
Again,
that it did was as an inducement. It induced structured those little wicks to the left and it induced it and then pushed up to give you a BOS. But when it pushed up, you did the right thing, which is you marked that next structure, which is the rectangle tool of that next OB, which one's the one you took a trade from. What happened from
yeah.
there? Price gave you that internal BOS, get two bearish candles that one of them mitigate and then pushed up to continue to break a structure. Then when it came back down, what did it do? Induce. It's open. what it came back and do, it induced that low to the left. Not to that run, to about the one to the left. Um, to look, keep going left. That bearish candle to the left side, straight up, straight across. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Once
yeah.
that inducement happened, that was the clean inducement for price to push back up. So if price wasn't there yet, all I would have said is in this zone, which you've marked, I would have just been waiting for price to come induce that low and then to fly off. So that would have been my
Deep slow right here.
yeah. So I would have taken it just to cover that low where it is. So it would have been no. I would have covered from the entry where you had it. Yeah, right
Perfect.
there. It would have been
Yep.
exactly. So that would have been my RR for this trade. I wouldn't have covered the entire low of everything and whatnot.
Yeah. Now that I see that, that's so clean.
Yeah,
That
because it's
because
bouncing off of the bands.
that
It's bouncing off of the
RR.
bands.
Yeah. Say it again.
Now, I was saying that it's bouncing from one demand to the other. It's like it's stacked.
Yeah. Mhm. It's
Yeah,
inducing and it's pushing up. Induce, push up. So
yeah.
it was clearly showing bullish intent. It's
It
just
had no
I
reason to
wasn't
induce
sure.
again.
I had no reason whether to come and do this again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Now that I see it, yeah, because
understand.
that RR
Whenever
would have
an
been a lot
inducement
better.
happens, to confirm the inducement is legit, you want to see it push out and break structure. If it doesn't
Yeah.
push out and break structure, then it's not a legit inducement. It was just a sweep or whatever. But then it's probably going to come back and do another sweep or an inducement when it revisits. But if it induced like you saw and it keep pushing up, breaking structure, comes back and then you know that it's not going to come back and induce that. It's just going to keep going to.
I'm bad. Because I have no reason to since you already slipped on liquidity.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate that, my guy. Thank you so much.
For sure.
I know it's been a long day for you.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
so much for your time, man.
Nah, for
Making up
sure.
for London session and whatnot.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get back to it tomorrow.
We're gonna get back to it, man.
Let's finish the week off strong, brother.
Nah, man, I appreciate that, bro. You take it easy, man.
You too, man. Anytime, brother. Later.
My guy. Okay.